I am live. Boom. Didn't hear it. That's my bad. It's a Monday. It's President's Day. Welcome, everybody, to the Positivity Report. Thadd Williams is in the building. He's one that put together all those sweet, fun new graphics packages for you all. I'm very excited about them. I'm very excited to be here on a Monday. Now, listen, in the United States, if you're not here in the United States today is President's Day, which apparently is a federal holiday where you take work off, being that the president's job is very easy. So we're supposed to take, like, I've never really understood why we take President's Day off. Like, I call it Founding Fathers Day. Like, everybody gets a holiday because they founded something. But calling it President's Day and then taking the day off, the president, if you saw Barack Obama at the beginning of his term and then 8 years later, the man aged 67 years, okay? It's the hardest job on the friggin' planet. And we take the day off. We're like, good luck, President. We got this one. No big deal. This is the Good People Association. If this is your first time tuning in, you can go to the GPA.fund, join the Bucket Club. We have huge announcements. We're teasing. The merch store is coming this week. The merch, we have seen what the merch looks like. We're adding merch to it. We're very, very excited. So you can get some t-shirts, some hats, some beanies, maybe an enamel pin. We've got all kinds of fun stuff and more stuff coming in. We're constantly updating that merch store. It's going to be a living, breathing clothing line about being good people. So we're very excited about that. Also, you can subscribe to the channel. Today being President's Day, we're going to do Riley's Cantina a little early. We're going to do it today at noon. We're still going to do it live. I'm going to be the guest, and I'm going to ask a bunch of really stupid Star Wars questions to Mark, and he can answer them because he is what the internet calls a Star Wars expert. Mark Riley. That mic is not on. There you go.
Oh, there we are. Yes, I am an expert in all things Star Wars.
There you go.
It's a good movie. It came out in 87 was the first one, and starred
87. You're on fire this morning.
Yeah. What's Oh, I'm on camera.
Oh, by the way, I watched Grosse Point Blank last night. Never
first
seen
time?
that one.
What is going on? Why is this? Yeah, this is a new thing.
Okay, now
for people.
What Amanda does, and I don't know if she's watching or not. More than likely not. But there's something that Amanda does, and Ken and I were talking about it as well. Is that as soon as I start something that I like, 10 minutes in, Amanda just gets up and starts doing things, right? And I'm like, did you want to watch the movie? She's like, I can hear it. I'm like, okay, I just got bumped for not being present during things, and I started a movie that I thought would be a cool thing for us. Like, it's a 1996 rom-com, and she's just like walking around doing stuff. It is unbelievably hilarious, but also kind of like, if you didn't want to watch it, we didn't have to. And I feel like I forced Grosse Point Blank on her. And now she's like, I mean, it was fine, I guess. It was very 90s. I'm like,
oh, I know. I feel your
Ken's
pain,
in the
Ken
background
Knapsack.
freaking out. Ken Knapsack also here. Thadd Williams will jump on the bar after we do our teacher feature. Our teacher feature today, Brandon Mudd. Very excited to talk to him. He looks like a really cool teacher, one of those cool teacher dudes. But I have to give a quick shout out to the one and only Amanda Baldino. Okay, now. Last week, I threw out a question of the day, and you guys did a lot of funny responses for my question of the day for today, so we'll get to that. But I said, if you could start your own hand soap line, what would the scent be? What would I wanted to call it the flavor, but nobody's really like eating hand soap. Please, God, don't do that. It's not going to help with COVID. Okay, so we said, Ken brought up that he really liked basil, right? Ken liked basil. Mark liked basil. I never even had basil. And Amanda Baldino sent us some Myers basil scented hand soap, and I'm very excited to try this. We got to keep our hands clean in here. As everybody knows, I'm obsessed with hand sanitizer, and I'm obsessed with washing my hands. It's why I'm constantly washing and then lotioning, washing, moisturizing. It's why I poor Wendy Lee back in the day at Collider, I would always go to her desk. I'm like, hey, you got any of that good scented lotion? She's like, you need to buy your own lotion. I'm like, you're not wrong. And I also took a lot of peanut butter out of her desk. But that's a story for another day. She was the only one that brought peanut butter. I would just take a spoon when she wasn't at her desk, jam it in there.
Would you really?
Yeah, all the time. And she was like, hey, did you take some peanut butter out of my desk? I'm like, what? Surely you, Jess. You did. I did. I took peanut butter. That's my bad. But I would just take one spoonful, like in the afternoon for my afternoon snack. I'd go over there. She wouldn't be at her desk, and I'd just a big old hunkin' spoonful. You know what the most depressing thing about peanut butter is? Is like one serving is literally like on your just a taste of peanut butter. Like it's 745 calories is one serving, one little teaspoon of peanut butter.
Calories.
I wanted to say something else. Oh yeah, you can support the show. Streamlabs, Super Chat, streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. We got all that kind of fun stuff. Being a Monday, I hope you guys all had a very nice weekend. I will say this. I was watching, John Oliver is back. Last Week Tonight came back. It's probably my favorite political show because it's funny. It's very, very funny. And so he said something about, hey, everybody keeps talking about families, all this kind of stuff. Maybe that was Bill Maher, whatever it was. If you didn't have a Valentine yesterday, it's fine. You're allowed to be single. You're allowed to enjoy February 14th however the F you want. And if people are out there posting a bunch of photos with their significant other and it's making you upset, you're allowed to be upset. But you're also being single and being by yourself. I never say it's alone. Ken and I have an alone app. That's a totally different story. You're allowed to be by yourself. Maybe you just really enjoy the time by yourself. You can do whatever you want. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy my wife. I love my wife. I loved Valentine's Day with her. I made the whole house smell like garlic, and I'm very, very sorry. She hated that smell. And our ventilation in our apartment is not very good. The building was built in like 1903. Okay. But you're allowed to be by yourself. You're allowed to celebrate it however the F you want. And if you don't even want to celebrate it because it was a holiday created by Hallmark and cards and flower, the big flower, what's big tobacco? We got big flowers, okay? And they've been controlling our minds for years now on February 14th. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. It's a total joke. I'm just kidding. But you're allowed to do that. Just because you don't have somebody doesn't mean that people being like, oh my God, are you okay? You're fine. You're going to be great. You're going to be great people. You're going to be good people. You're going to find the good. And it's okay. It's totally okay. Go hit some golf balls. Ikaika, Shively, the Hawaiian Hunk, Aloha Friday, Prince of the Islands. What do you got?
We're ready.
I was in the middle of a fucking monologue.
Wow.
Just cutting me off with the Battle of Destiny.
I'm sorry. Our guests looked at their watch. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, thanks, Ikaika. I hope you had a very nice weekend, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Ikaika, have you noticed, he's going to be on the screen soon. Have you noticed who really needs to be here every Friday for Aloha Friday?
Oh yeah.
Thadd Williams.
Yes.
I'm the only one. He and I are the only ones that wear the Hawaiian shirts on Friday. His dad bought me a Steelers one. I mean, thank you very much. Ooh, it's comfortable too. We're working on a possible Hawaiian shirt sponsorship. And by saying working on it, we're just saying it live on this camera right now and hoping that somebody sees it in the Hawaiian shirt community. Okay, so we have a teacher feature today, Brandon Mudd. We're very excited to talk to him. I do have to give a quick shout out to Jessie Roach. She is a founding member. She's an amazing person. She was a 90s pop star. That's a total running joke if you watch the afternoons. She's actually born in like 1997. So that's a total joke. She's interviewing for her dream job today. Jessie, good luck. We're sending you good vibes. The Good People Association is 100% behind you. We hope that dream job doesn't take you away from hanging out with us every single day. But if it does, we're very, very happy for you. Okay, here we go. Today's teacher feature, Brandon Mudd. He reached out. Listen, if you want to be featured on the teacher feature, I have a lot of emails to get to, and we're going to do it, once a week. But GPAPositivity@gmail.com. You can reach out to me there, and I would love to feature any teachers. Our teacher feature last week with Leanne Mason, who's a college professor, was fantastic. And we're going to bring her back on to just talk politics in a straight down the narrow thing of how to discuss politics with people. She's a political professor, and she's like, you don't have to yell at each other. We can all do this together. Oh, I think Jennifer Maddle just sent us in an amazing super chat. Thank you, Jennifer Maddle. Josh, I think I have a potential future boyfriend for your daughter. My great-nephew, Edward Carlo, was born on 2/13/21. My heart is overflowing. Jennifer, congratulations. I will say this. I can't say yes or no about that, but I will say that my daughter will not date until she's in her mid-40s. I will be keeping her alone in our house. If a boy comes to my house, okay, I've watched Bad Boys 2 enough to know that this kid is I'm not going to be that dad that is friends with her daughter's boyfriend, unless he's really good at golf. Then I'm probably going to be really good friends with him. No, I'm kidding. Listen, Edward Carlo, my middle name is Edward. Guy sounds amazing. Super happy for you. Super happy for your family. And later on down the line, if my daughter happens to meet a young man named Edward Carlo, I know that it was set on this show in 2021. So that'll be in what, like 2065, Ken? Okay, here we go. Our teacher feature today, Brandon Mudd. Brandon, welcome to the show. Sorry that you had to check your watch. I apologize.
I was getting texts and I looked at it and then Yeah, it wasn't. We're off today. We're off for President's Day, so
And you dressed up for the show anyways?
I know, right? You like that?
Unbelievable. Great tie, great pink shirt. Real men wear pink. I love it.
Normally we wear pink on Wednesdays. But,
Oh, yeah. Well said. Well
this
said,
is
Brandon.
probably like my best outfit. So
I love that you got dressed up for us. You wore your best outfit and everything. Brandon, tell the people what grade you teach, where you teach, and just a little backstory on yourself.
yeah, so I teach civics mostly and AP Government in a high school in Central Kentucky.
Amazing.
So it's about.
That's about it.
That's about. I mean that's the rundown. Yeah. I mean I ran the gamut of social studies classes.
Okay.
So I taught pretty much all of it, but I've kind of focused in on the civics and AP, the advanced placement government class.
And how does that, I guess, in our current climate, what has that been like?
Right. So yeah, you were talking about this with the Leanne Mason last week on the same subject matter. You know, it would be easy to say that it's like it's an interesting time, and that's just kind of in general. But I think the best way to put it is that like my job is to teach them what they need to know versus what they should feel about stuff. So it's mostly just like, hey, here's what's going on. Here's how things usually work. Here's what the Constitution says about that stuff. Sometimes, you know, and kind of just got to give them that information and let them make do with how things are written versus, you know, what they're actually seeing or how they're interpreting things. It's easy to point to stuff, but it's not, you know, my job isn't, hey, here's what you should think about XYZ.
Right. And is it, have you, you know, obviously with the climate, have students come in and be like, my parents say this, and you kind of have to be like, well, that is a thing.
Sort of. It's more, they'll take information, like, so if I'm telling them about, like, the Electoral College always comes up.
Sure, yeah.
And then they'll come back and it'll be like, you know, it's not so, and it's not so much parents say, it's, you know, they're, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions. So a lot of times the questions is, how does this work? Not, you know, should XYZ be happening in regards to certain content like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. A lot of people loving you in chat, buddy. I bet.
Oh, thanks.
I bet people think that when they first see you when they come to school, like, this is going to be my cool teacher. He's got long hair. He kind of rocks it out.
I mean, you can see the decorations and like. So I mean, my room is decked out the same way.
Yeah.
So like, it's good conversation starters.
Sure.
You know, because so I'll have, you know, Marvel stuff or Star Wars stuff, like little Funkos and stuff, like up on my desk, and it's a good way to. Now it's more mainstream, but a lot of times, you know, the kids that tend to be more into that stuff, they don't want to talk a whole lot. They don't want to, you know, share things. So it's a good starting place for those kind of relationship building things. Like, they know that I'm going to be into the type of stuff that they're into. So
have you incorporated superheroes or Star Wars into civics and American government?
So I used to, and I've kind of gotten away from it. But so I used to use the Dark Knight to teach political theory. Okay. So like the Locke and Hobbes stuff, like the you know, the general outlook on humanity. Sure. And, you know, more pessimistic nature of Thomas Hobbes and kind of using the Joker's mindset in the Dark Knight and being like, hey, here's his mindset. What does that relate to? How does that relate to political theory? How does that relate to the way that people tend to conduct themselves and stuff like that?
I love it. I would imagine that, you know, schools kind of, you show a lesson plan, or maybe somebody hears about a lesson plan or and they're like, hey, so you're teaching the Dark Knight?
It's usually like, luckily I have an administration that's like really supportive of that kind of stuff.
It's amazing.
So they're all about like, what can we do to, you know, reach these kids, as, you know, if you want to get, you know, what's the word? I'm cliche about it, but it works, you know, and it's a good, and a lot of times anymore, it's difficult to kind of incorporate it into lessons. It's more of just kind of a, you know, shooting the crap and getting to know kids and using that as a starting point.
Yeah.
more than it is even about the content anymore, especially right now.
Yeah.
I'm teaching content, like I'm giving them the content they need, but especially this year, it kind of just feels like they're doing it to get it done. So it's more about like, what did you watch this weekend? Or
right.
what are you playing? Or what are you watching? Or what anime are you into? Or whatever it may be.
Are you back in person at all? Or
so yeah, we are. So we're doing like a hybrid setup, and I might be one of the only ones that you've had so far that are back in person.
Yeah.
From the previous interviews, I think most people you're talking to are totally online.
Yeah.
So we're hybrid. So that means that we basically divided the student body in half. Okay. Right. We're a school of 1,800, 1,900.
Damn, that's big. Okay.
Yeah. So like basically the A through H kids, somewhere in there, about halfway through the alphabet, they're group A, they come on one day, and the rest of the kids are getting online instruction, whether it's an online assignment so I post a Google Meet so that I have kids joining online while I'm talking to the in-person kids.
Oh, wow.
And they're doing the same assignment.
Okay.
But that requires certain, what's the word I'm looking for? Adaptations certain adaptations to lesson plans where it's got to be something that the in-person kids can do and the online kids at home can do the same assignment, but there's not a lot of actually teaching. It's more of like, hey, here's an assignment that'll teach you the content, make sure you get what you need.
Yeah.
So we are actually in person. We haven't been, it's Kentucky, so as soon as we even like get like a sniff of snow, everything shuts down. Everyone's like, raid Walmart, raid Kroger, get your toilet paper, get your milk and bread, and everyone freaks out. So there's like 2 inches on the ground right now.
Oh, wow.
And there's more coming through. So everyone's like freaking out. Everyone's on like
lockdown. Yeah.
Everyone's like, get your supplies. You're not leaving for a week. So that was last week too. So we're probably looking at being online the rest of this week, and then hopefully get back to that hybrid in-person stuff that we've been doing.
So you've got some students here in the chat, Brandon.
I spread the word.
Oh, good. Drake Gillespie says, Mud really is the best teacher, always active and kind. He cared about all kids outside of the class too. One of my best role models through high school, easily. That's got to make you feel pretty good, man.
So Drake, I met him his freshman year.
Okay.
And he was like kind of this quiet kid, but he was hilarious. And him and his buddy, which is funny because they're Drake and Josh.
Yeah. Nice.
Cue laughter.
Nice.
So I host the talent show at the high school.
Amazing.
And I like wanted to incorporate those two, and we like wrote sketches and stuff. So like their sophomore year, they we took rap lyrics and they read them out like it was poetry.
Yes, I love that.
And Drake read "Get Low," so he was like, "To the window, to the walls, so the sweat drips." And I grabbed the mic and I was like, "All right, you're good, get out." And so like from there on out, like Drake basically kind of like came out of his shell and helped with the talent show those couple of years that he had left.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
That's amazing.
Like we put together like opening sketches. We had like we had a dance intro, like the kind of funny aerobics. Yeah, we basically ripped off that for our intro one year.
I love it. And sounds like you're very, very active in the school.
Yeah.
When you graduated college, was this your first job? Have you been there your entire time?
I started straight out of school. So I started right at 22.
Wow.
This is year 9. And that's part of the dressing up thing too.
Sure.
Like, because like I had to, otherwise I would just blend in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not very tall. I don't know if like I've got it framed to where it looks like.
I was going to say, I thought you were at least 6'3", so.
No, like 5'7" on a good day. On a good day.
But people aren't looking at your height with hair like that, man. I will say, no. I know Ken.
Yeah, I got that Winter Soldier thing going on.
Oh, man. I mean, it's fantastic. Ken and I always talk about, we're always jealous of guys with like that can do the long hair thing, because I've never been able to do it. Ken had that ponytail for a minute. My hair just grows out. I'm very jealous of like the dudes that can rock the rock star haircut, because now you're like a teacher rock star.
Yeah, I didn't know I could. Like, I decided a couple years ago, and I was like, this is since like July 2019. I was like, I'm gonna grow my hair out. Like, screw it.
Yeah.
And then the quarantines and stuff happened, which kind of let me push through the awkward phase. and a lot of kids would probably joke and be like, "What do you mean push through the awkward phase?" Because
there you go.
Like the one, especially like probably the ones in the chat probably haven't seen me.
Yeah.
So they're like, "What's he doing with the mullet?" And I'm like, "No, it's in a ponytail. It's not a mullet. I promise."
It's just well coiffed.
Right.
You do. I would imagine your students would imagine you have to play guitar, right? Like you come in and the first day they're like,
I am so musically uninclined that like I play drums, I can keep a beat.
Sure.
And that was like 1 year in middle school.
Okay. That was that.
I appreciate music and the craft of it, but I just
well said.
Not even a little bit.
So let me ask you this before I let you go, and I appreciate you taking the time out and appreciate you being here.
No, for sure, man. I've looking forward to have a conversation with you forever.
Oh man, thank you.
Through the kind of funny community and content, that's where
I
was introduced to you. And
yeah. I mean, they're the best.
My wife is asleep. She's probably super jealous that she didn't wake up. And I'm gonna be like, I talked to Macuga and you didn't. So.
Boom, winner. Do you think that like college now they're going to be teaching teachers how to do hybrid stuff? Because obviously you didn't have to learn this. Do you think that they're going to be teaching how to teach remote?
To an extent.
Okay.
The big question with all this is like how much of this is here to stay?
Right.
Like how much, because like there was no online curriculum, at least where I taught, and like in central Kentucky, like online school is not a thing.
Yeah.
So, the big question has been like, all right, so from here on out, how many kids are we going to have that this actually works for and they can actually do it and like have jobs at the same time and stuff like that. So there might be a class that is focused on how to take lessons that you already have and kind of shift them and guide them towards how to make it online. But I think it's going to, I think that's putting a lot of faith in the teacher education system at colleges, because the first thing any teacher will tell you is that college does not prepare you for what a classroom situation is going to be like.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you is you're 22 years old, you're fresh out of college, you get you get put into a high school situation. Those kids aren't even 5, 6. You can remember high school very vividly at this point. I mean, I still have nightmares about not passing classes in college, and I still have funny dreams about high school. I would imagine that like you get into that classroom, those kids almost see you as a peer. That's got to be. I mean, that's throwing you right into the fire.
It's a gift and a curse, because like you can make those relationships a lot easier with them. But yeah, it's like the classroom management stuff, like, and I hate to say this for any prospective teachers, but it really is. And I tell teachers that I'm like mentoring all the time. It's like, it's kind of one of those things where you either have it or you don't. Like it's so difficult to teach classroom management stuff. Like you either have that inclination to, I don't want to say demand respect, but like, the way that I carry myself is pretty loose. Yeah. But like building those relationships automatically kind of builds that respect and that rapport up. So if you're good at that, then you're going to be fine. But man, a lot of it is you're just kind of, especially that first year and when you're student teaching, you're laying the track as the train is going, and you're like, I hope this works. Yeah. And kind of figuring things out. It really is one of those things where you learn by doing with anything regarding teaching. I
mean, it's like entertainment. It's like, stand-up comedy. I mean, you're performing every single day.
Right. Yeah. And that's I think that's been the hardest adjustment with the way that this year has gone, where it really is a performance. Yeah. And so normally my kids are in groups, they're talking, they're conversational, and we've been told, we were told like straight rows back, and so the kids are basically just sitting, staring at you. And that's been the hardest thing, because like it really is a performance, and you're trying to get something out of them a lot of times, even if it's not content related, especially this year. Yeah. And it's tough, man. It is tough. And yeah, it's a grind, but I mean, that's any job.
Yeah, but I mean, and the reason I do this is because I think what you're doing right now is so very, very important. I think, especially, I mean, I know sometimes high school is very difficult for some people. I know I had it very easy because I really loved high school. I loved all my friends, and I know that's not the same for everybody. And I know that this situation has created a much more difficult time. You're stuck at home. You don't have the social interaction, especially for younger kids who are, in their formative years of how to socialize, how to socially become people. High school is that time too, from freshman to sophomore year or freshman to senior year. How much you grow as a human being says a lot about the teachers that form. Because, I mean, I've said it a million times in here, my parents were both teachers, is that they formed a lot of people's lives because they spent so much time with them. There's only so much time that I got to spend with my mom and dad on weekdays because they both worked. We woke up in the morning, we talked, we had dinner at night, and then I had to go do homework. So most of my time was spent with teachers.
Yeah. That with teenagers, a lot of people, and a lot of adults in general, I think, tend to overgeneralize and kind of brush off a lot of that teenage angst.
Yeah.
But teenagers in general, they want one thing. They want to be taken seriously, right? They want to be listened to. They want to feel like what they say matters or what they think matters. Sure. And that is difficult now because it's so hard to get anything out of them. And even with building the relationships and stuff, like I'm nothing if not transparent. Mm-hmm. So I tell them all the time, I'm like, guys, this sucks. Like this, not like, trying to teach sucks, but like this whole situation sucks. Like, yeah. Right. Like you all are struggling. I'm struggling. Like I'll share articles with them about like, I read something yesterday that our principal actually sent out to us as a way of supporting us and being like, look, it was an article about like hitting that COVID wall and that kind of burnout just in general, not even in regards to teaching, which I feel like teacher burnout is only being expedited right now.
Right.
Just like, pushing through and still trying to maintain those relationships and build those relationships. And like you said in the chat, like most of it seems like I've got a ton of former students in there.
Yeah.
So like, and I foster those relationships even after they're gone.
Good,
That's
man.
kind of the most rewarding part.
I agree. I think you're doing a heck of a job, man, and I really appreciate you.
Dude.
Really appreciate you taking the time. You're welcome back anytime. You ever come out
absolutely.
you and your wife ever come out to Los Angeles? Mikase Sukasa, man. You're welcome
for sure.
anywhere.
Like, we were trying to do stuff in Disneyland last summer, and obviously all that got shut down. And so we're hoping this summer everything's opened up.
Yeah,
I'll be vaccinated. I mean, I've already got my first shot.
Oh, nice, good.
She's a nurse, so she's been vaccinated for a month now.
Right on.
So we're hoping to kind of get out and see things a little bit. And
I think we all are, man. I think, we're coming up on a year of a lockdown. And like you said, the wall is for real, but you're doing an amazing job, man. So keep up the great work. I know your students love it. I know all their parents love it. I know that, you told me that you're not just reaching out to parents of kids that aren't really performing. You're reaching out to a lot of the kids that are performing.
Yeah, so email,
like we said, this is about positivity. It's about good news. It's about being good people. And you're one of those, Brandon. So keep up the great work, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, if you ever want to do like a teacher Josh party, I get down on that.
I love that
My wife
idea.
And I, every night, man.
Yes, I love it. Okay, let's we'll discuss more. I'll email you. We'll talk all about it.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
All right, buddy. Stay safe out there.
Man.
Brandon Mudd, everybody. Brandon Mudd. Just a really, really good dude. You can tell his kids love him, and I hope you guys loved him in the chat. I know a lot of his students were in here, so that says a lot that his students would, jump in here and really say cool things about him. Cool teachers matter. Really good teachers matter even more, and cool and good together. Now you're really hitting it. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into our guest of the day, I have to give a shout out to Meyer's Basil Scent Soap. Do you want your hands smelling like an Italian restaurant? You're GD right, you do. Grab some Meyer's Basil Scent. Basil. All right. Thadd Williams, welcome back. I miss you, buddy. I miss you.
I feel like Robert Stack in Airplane when I've got one mask and another mask. There's so many masks.
Don't worry for all those that we are social distance. We're in here, and then as soon as this show's over, we put our masks back on.
Well, there's only one way I can eat these delicious tasty cake.
Oh man, as an
sandwiches.
East Coast boy, you gotta love seeing some tasty cakes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
It was music to my ears when I saw it this morning. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. It's really good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
I've got about a week now before I have a child.
Oh my goodness.
It's wild.
A week?
A week. Amanda,
Are you
2
ready?
nights ago-
You're not ready. You're not ready.
No,
You're definitely not ready.
it's like, okay. So I was talking to my brother, and he's like, "I got 4. I wasn't ready for 1." He was like, "The first night with our first one was pandemonium. None of us were prepared. I don't think you get prepared until you have the baby in your possession. And you're like, oh my God, this is mine. I have to not. Oh God, you know what I mean? I was talking. I was talking to my buddy who just had a baby like 2 months ago, and he's like, we left the hospital and we're both in the car. Like, this is ours now. There's no nurse to come help us. We have to actually do this. And that's, I think, where I'm freaking out the most is like those first few nights of like, okay, so this is my life now. This is my daughter. Yada. And then, I think you build from there. It's like anything. You just kind of, you either got it or you don't. That.
I mean, yeah, you're trial by fire, really.
Correct.
And
correct.
You'd have it no other way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
How are you doing, man?
I can't complain.
I love you should be here for Aloha Hot Fridays. I didn't
thank
even
you.
think about
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
I'm wearing this for a number of reasons. One, it's new and fresh, and I don't get to wear things outside anymore.
True. I've never seen that one. I was going to say. It's lovely.
It's 60s Batman and Joker having a surfing
man.
contest, which is one of the classic episodes of 60s Batman.
Totally.
Today is Cesar Romero's birthday.
Whoa.
Yeah,
The original Joker.
the original Joker. The man who said, "Wait, you want me to shave off my mustache? No, just paint over it.
Just paint
over
it. I saw this Snyder Cut trailer.
The man knows how to make a trailer.
I mean, he really does. And the Joker's in it.
Yeah, they surprise.
Holy cow!
We live in a society where the Joker is now in the Snyder Cut.
And I saw, our buddy Joe Manganiello post about it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we're probably going to see some more Deathstroke.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's like extra scene. There's a bunch of scenes that didn't make it into the first version,
Yes.
and then they shot some new stuff.
Okay.
Which is when they brought in Jared and I think Joe.
Yeah.
Came back for some new stuff as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it comes out like in a month.
I mean, wild. And for those that are watching that have never met Thadd before, I should give a quick introduction. Thadd Williams, one of my best buds. I officiated his wedding.
You did.
And one of my favorite weddings because Larry Miller was in the audience, and Larry Miller came up to me. He's like, "That was a great job," and I was like, "Thanks, Larry Miller." It's amazing. And then it was right on the ocean, and there were seals, and Thadd's wedding hashtag was sealed by the sea, which has been a running joke now forever.
We debuted the hashtag too early was the problem.
Damn it.
We debuted it with like the save the dates, and
Yeah.
then it became a running joke at every bachelor party. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Guaranteed, when you post a photo of your daughter after she is born, one or two of our friends
Sealed by Rosie.
will definitely put a Sealed by the Sea pun in the comment section. And I apologize in advance, though it's not my fault. It's been 5 years now, and this is still happening.
But I will say also, too, is your wedding colors with the mint pants, one of my favorites. I mean,
you.
just fantastic. I think my funniest story, which maybe is that, I had to go back and sign your license after the ceremony. You guys were taking the pictures.
Right.
Me and Seuss.
Did you do that? Did you sign that?
I signed it.
Okay.
You're married.
Officially?
Yeah,
like
you're
legally?
good. Yeah.
Because I didn't put it in the mail.
It's just sitting
It's
there.
just been sitting. I thought we just like framed it when we got home.
It's like my college degree. It's just in a drawer somewhere.
Yeah.
Seuss and I had to go. He was my witness, so he had to sign. I had to sign. Then we put that thing in your room or whatever,
Sure.
like in his room.
Yeah.
And he and I went back and ripped like 4 shots of whiskey. Like I was like, "You want to do another one?" He's like, "Yeah." And Gina and Amanda are like, "Where'd you guys go?" And we're like, "Let's have whiskey."
After I officiated Seuss's wedding, I ripped like 5 shots on my own for the exact same reason.
Exactly.
It's over now.
It's over.
And then Ken officiated your wedding.
Yeah, can officiate. I mean, the whole big circle
Yeah.
coming
By the
through.
transient property, Ken and I are married.
Holy shit, that's
Yeah.
right. I did not see that.
Yeah.
And I believe, Ikaika Shively, the Hawaiian hunk, Aloha Hot Friday, Prince of the Islands, he's not engaged yet, But Heather reached out to me on Instagram this weekend and said, I'd love for you to officiate Ikaika in my wedding whenever he does get off his lazy ass and propose.
She did not say that.
No, she didn't. I'm just kidding.
Wow. No pressure. No pressure, buddy.
You know what? He cut off my monologue this morning, so I'm going to throw him under the bus a couple of times. His lovely girlfriend did smash his car last week, though. He was like,
no.
Yeah, Heather scratched my car.
Like with a baseball bat or like,
Well, she
like
was
in
listening
an
to
accident?
that Carrie Underwood song, you know.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I took a Louisville Slugger. And she beat the crap out of his car because he beat her in Animal Crossing. And that was like,
wow.
you know, you get on Twitch, sometimes things get heated
Yeah.
bad. And that's how it
happens.
is.
Let's hope she's not watching right now. She wouldn't like that you said that.
What, she smashed your car? Yeah. Well, because you said it's a scratch. She scratched my car. I went out there. It looked like somebody took all the bowling balls at it. Just whack, whack, whack. There's some black on there, and they're just like big dents.
I mean, just buff that right out.
Just
okay.
pop it out.
Yeah.
Just
As
pop
long
it
as
out.
she's safe, it's fine.
Yeah, that's exactly. Peace Burger came in hot, and I've never thought about this. Thadd Boys for life.
Whoa. If I ever have a son,
Yes.
there we go.
Thadd Boys. What you gonna do? Wear Hawaiian shirts coming after you. All right. What have you been watching? What have you liked? Because so for
man.
those that don't know, Thadd and I used to host TV Talk on Collider back in the day, and we both love television more than most people.
Yeah.
And we've researched TV a lot too. Like we know way too many backstories on certain
Way
shows.
too many. Way too many.
Just like the backstory on Meyer's Clean Dry Basil Soap. Basil, put a basil plant in your living room, and it'll smell like basil. Basil. It's great on pizza. All right, Thadd, go ahead.
I'm glad you got that basil. My wife likes one of the Christmas scents, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
she stocks up on it when it comes out.
Oh,
so we've
the
got like
pine.
6 bottles of the spray. I forget. I don't even know what it's called, but it smells good.
What, Snowy Day?
It might have been. It might be. What have I been watching lately? Well, we were talking about it off the air. I started the Cecil Hotel thing yesterday.
Yeah, that's scary.
Creepy.
Yeah.
It took me. I didn't remember the case until the middle of the second episode, and they started like dropping a couple clues. I was like, oh, I know where this is going.
Right.
Oh, and I looked over at my wife, and she didn't know where it was going, and it was, yeah.
That poor hotel manager. I only watched the first episode in like 10 minutes the second because it's scary. It's very scary.
She's going to be a meme for a while.
She's like, I didn't really know what I was getting myself. Somebody died every day. She
had no hotel experience when she
None.
was hired. I assume she worked for some sort of real estate company that bought the building, and then they gave her, and then she, yeah, like she was a little bit
there
out
was
of
a
her
dead
depth.
body.
Out of her depth.
You
And
imagine?
she stayed for 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Okay, your car breaks down the first day.
Yeah.
And you just keep driving it for 10 more years. Like you got a lemon.
Yeah.
Your job is a lemon. And the way they talk about the Cecil Hotel back in the 80s and 90s.
I mean, yeah. It's a little, they lay it on a little thick where
Real
they're
thick.
like, yeah.
But they keep showing that same picture of that bloody mattress like 35 times. It's that same bloody mattress.
Did you watch the Night Stalker doc a month ago?
I tried the first 10 minutes. I got too scared.
It was very scary. That was a daytime watch.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there are certain things that I will not watch at night, and this one, it's about a case from 35 years ago. They caught the guy. He's dead. I still will not watch it at night because the Golden State Killer one.
Well, I watched that one.
That was one of the scariest pieces of content I've ever consumed in my life.
I was very night terror-y during that show, but I love Patton Oswalt so much, and I respected the relationship his wife had with building this whole thing is wild. My uncle's working on a documentary right now with Netflix about this serial killer in Pittsburgh, and he said he went to the jail to interview him, and he said, I couldn't go in. I chickened out at the last second. I did not want to be anywhere near the presence of this man because I knew it was just pure evil.
Oof.
I'm not. But I will say, the one thing I have been watching that I didn't think I was going to like, but have really started to like, is that Your Honor on Showtime with Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, that just finished. That just wrapped up. I don't have Showtime at the moment, and I haven't watched it at all. I've heard mixed things, but some people are really into it.
Yeah.
So.
And our friend Sheila Toner, amazing human being, she said, "Be glad you stopped watching LA's Finest, Josh. It just got so much worse." So we watched the first episode and a half, and I love Bad Boys. We all know this. It's my favorite movie franchise. And they somehow made it bad.
I mean, it's a procedural
really
spin-off in the Bad Boys universe.
Yeah.
Tangentially. It's like they really kind of like connected the dots. So I'm not that surprised that it wasn't a huge hit.
In the first episode, though, Sid does say shit just got real. So
I mean,
you got that.
Kind of have to.
Yep.
I watched the Equalizer pilot after the Super Bowl.
I enjoyed it.
Pretty fun.
Queen Latifah.
Adam Goldberg as
Yeah.
a hacker. I'm there.
Sign me
Chris
up.
Noth with a beard.
I know. The Noth man.
I mean,
Jersey Girl Lori throws in a super chat, sending some East Coast love to those butterscotch crimpets. # tasty cakes. Those things.
oh God, I'm gonna dive into these real soon.
So Ken has this theory, right, that if he eats all of the tasty cakes fast enough, that they're gone and he doesn't have to worry about them.
It's an odd theory, but I'm following it slightly.
Like he doesn't think if he eats them all at one point, he won't it's not bad for him. And
Oh,
then he
yeah,
doesn't have
yeah,
to,
yeah.
It's like the long-term effect of
Yeah.
one bad day does not make a bad week.
That's fair.
That-
It's a cheat
right.
day. It's a cheat day. I ate
is.
2 cases of tasty cakes
True.
on my cheat day. That's fine.
It's no big deal.
Do you watch Search Party?
Okay, no, but I need to.
You
because-
need to. I just finished binging the newest seasons on HBO Max.
Okay.
Hilarious.
Okay.
Dark as hell.
Okay.
The most recent
It's with
season.
Maybe, right?
Yeah, it's with
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
John Reynolds, John Early is in it. They get a ridiculous amount of guest stars that pop by.
Okay.
Every season is like a new weird New York
Yeah.
guest star that they have. But it's really funny. Michael Showalter is a producer on it,
Makes sense.
and
It's TBS. It started on TBS.
started
right?
on TBS when TBS was doing like weird offbeat comedies,
Yeah.
and then they moved it to HBO Max.
It's like
for season
Shipwrecked.
3.
Or which our buddy Asif Ali was on.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, but really funny, really highly recommend.
Okay, Search Party.
And Flight Attendant was also on HBO Max, which I really liked. Not everyone got into it, but I
Yeah.
loved it.
Amanda watched the whole thing and liked it. She thought she was going to like it a lot more. I watched the pilot and I couldn't get into it. But
You're either on board or not.
Yeah.
The pilot is very in your face.
it had Game of Thrones, Dario in it, which I know you love Game of
Oh
Thrones.
yeah, big fan.
Huge.
Yeah, Michelle Huisman.
Huisman.
Michelle Huisman.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I also
He's really good.
If you haven't started watching or watch it, Mythic Quest on Apple TV.
It's on my list when I get Apple TV Plus again. I had it when I binged Morning Show,
Yeah.
and then I didn't, and then I dropped it, and then I need to get it back again. Now Paramount Plus starts in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Which I had CBS for all the Star Trek shows. The Star Trek shows are done for a little bit.
So is CBS All Access becoming Paramount Plus?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great.
Yes, yes. It's a mountain of entertainment.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the commercials.
done.
I'm looking forward to Paramount Plus. I don't really know what's going to be on there. They just announced they're doing a reunion of the original cast of Real World
Oh, Ken, did you hear that?
in the original house in New York.
What?
Yeah. So there's that.
Holy moly.
For those of you who aren't on the mic,
Yes.
Kevin, are you a drug dealer? Just got screamed in the
Just
back.
screamed. I mean, they got is Puck alive still?
I have no idea.
That's a really good question. He was always like the most legendary real world character was Puck.
Yeah.
Right? Gotta be. Or the guy that played the piano in New Orleans was like beepity bop bop.
I mean, I think right now it's just the original cast of
Okay,
the
got
first
it.
season.
Just the
and
original
then
cast.
they might, I don't know if they're going to reboot more seasons. I have no idea. Saw an ad, Mind's MC comes back next month, which I'm
Oh,
looking forward to.
really
They
looking
finished
forward to
shooting it in the pandemic.
You know what show was my second favorite? So Ted Lasso was my favorite show of 2020
That's
by far.
it, again. Once I get Apple TV Plus,
Yeah.
I need to catch up on Ted Lasso. I've heard it's great.
So good. Amanda even freaked out for it.
Yeah.
My second favorite show was this show on Netflix called Teenage Bounty Hunters.
I watched the first couple episodes. It was really good.
They canceled after one season.
Yeah,
It's done.
I kind of fell off because I knew it wasn't going
God.
anywhere. But it was funny.
It was so good, man. It was my second favorite show of the year. I'm so bummed that nobody watched it because they released a trailer and the trailer was absolute trash, and I think it really turned off a lot of people. But Kadeem Harrison,
Kadeem Harrison, yeah.
get it from a different world, is great
yep,
in it.
Yep. He was on the Disney Channel show with Zendaya that Amanda worked with. So,
bam. There you go.
Kadeem's cool. He's a huge nerd too. He's always doing like sideshow unboxings.
Oh, nice. And I will
For
have,
those of you who are into sideshow stuff.
if we're talking TV, how have you, and we've texted about it, but how have you, and I got a chance to interview Claire McNear, who wrote
Yes.
wrote the Jeopardy book
Right.
on Friday. How have you enjoyed Ken Jennings? Tell me about your travel.
Okay. I didn't know what I was going to get with Ken.
Yeah.
Because if you watched The Chase that Ken and the other goats are on.
Right.
They don't have a lot of personality on that show, and they're trying to play them up for personality, and I really don't think that it's working.
Sure.
The
Chase is called, right? The
Yeah,
Chase.
yeah. So my expectations were very low.
Yeah.
Ken comes in, he's reading the questions really well. He's keeping the game on time. He's interjecting a little bit of humor, not too much to overpower it.
Yep.
He's doing a good job with the interviews. He's interacting with the guests, making the most of the fact that they don't have an audience at all, except the crew. I think he's crushing it. It's like I texted you a couple nights ago. I was like, Ken's good.
He's good.
And you thought I meant knapsack.
Yeah,
You were very confused. I was like, Ken is good, and I don't know what to think.
Yeah,
and
I
he's
was
like,
like,
huh?
Ken?
I was like, no, not knapsack's terrible.
He's the
Jennings is actually really good.
He's done a heck of a job.
I don't know how many more weeks he's got before. Like the producer's going to do a few weeks, and then they've got the rotating
the
guests,
celebrities.
Aaron Rodgers,
Katie
Couric,
not
Dr. Oz, which
Dr.
I'm really
Oz.
really upset about because Dr. Oz is
He's not the best.
not a good fake doctor.
Yeah, he's not the best.
But
What
I'm
the other
excited
one that I'm looking
Anderson
for?
Cooper?
Anderson Cooper.
the internet wanted LeVar Burton,
Totally should've got it.
not just
They also wanted Josh Macuga, but don't.
they did want Josh Macuga. They wanted LeVar Burton a little bit more,
just a touch.
and I'm really bummed that it hasn't been announced yet.
I know it seems silly, like
because I feel like he's a perfect layup, like to bring in a bunch of different people, a bunch of different audiences from a bunch of different fan bases
we trusted him in our home with books for years,
for years.
and now trust him with Jeopardy.
Yeah,
Give it
I
to
think
him.
it'd be great. I think it'd be great. I
agree.
I don't know why it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. You ready for your dad joke of the day?
Yeah.
That okay. Some people can't distinguish between etymology and entomology, and that bugged me in ways I can't put into words. You like that one?
I like that one.
You see that one? You see
That's
that?
good.
We got any laughter out there? Keg, you want to? How about one more? Speaking of the Cecil Hotel, my hotel tried to charge me $10 extra for air conditioning. Thad, that was not cool.
Boom. I like that one.
Come on, everybody! Come on, Ken, give me a reaction.
was good.
Something. No,
That was
you're
good.
not feeling it. All right.
That's good.
Woohoo! Okay. Thad, here's your word of the day.
Word of the day.
Can you guess it? The word of the day is Falstaffian.
Okay.
Falstaffian.
All right. Well, Falstaff is a literary character.
Correct. Shakespearean, if you will.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember where Falstaff plays into it. It's really, you're really putting me on the spot here. I'm gonna guess that to be Falstaffian is you have a tendency to land on your sword or fall on your staff, as it were.
Oh, well said, Thad. Okay. Actually, Falstaffian. And Ikaika, you got a guess? You got a quick guess?
Snobby?
Snobby.
Snobby?
Ooh, incorrect. Being of John Falstaff, so fat, jolly, and debauched.
Oh,
So me on Thanksgiving.
yeah. And from
Christmas.
Thanksgiving until about Valentine's Day.
Correct, yes. Yesterday
like
was my last.
It's a window.
Yeah. It's
It's like Lent, but the opposite.
Your question of the day, Thad. I pose it every day. Do a question of the day every day. There we go. Okay, so I said, the Positivity Report wants to know, if you got a box of mystery chocolates like Forrest Gump, what flavor would ruin it for you? Now, I got a ton of coconut, got a lot of Turkish Delight. What's Turkish Delight? Is that like a, I always thought.
Is it a turkey? I don't know.
Then Love Not Hate, aka at Foul Trouble 23, said, the life flavor. You never know what you're going to get. Well said, Forrest. Well said. I will say Alaska Winter 923. Love this one. Maybe fish, pimentos, Kalamata olives, tofu, all would ruin.
Yeah,
All would ruin a
it's
chocolate.
like those like the Japanese Kit Kat flavors,
Yes.
where like some of them are just like zonks. You just don't want that.
Don't want it. Cherry. A lot of people said cherry.
Cherry's mine.
Okay.
Because like I don't like coconut.
Okay.
But if I bite into the ones that's like a full cherry,
Yeah.
I really don't like cherries, and that's too much for
I
me.
love a good cherry pie. Samantha Butler Davies said salted caramel. Whoever thought this was a good mix is a very bad person indeed. I kind of disagree. I like salted
Salted caramel is like the best.
I think it's pretty good.
The only way to make caramel better is to add a little bit of salt on top.
Bing, bang, boom. Maestro Baron Von Moore said the orange one. I'm not sure what's in there. It's something about that orange filling that seems extremely artificial. And this parlays perfectly into my Positweet-fiddy. Positweet-fiddy! The Posity of Twitter. Guess what's coming back? McDonald's is bringing back the orange drink High C.
I saw that.
They're bringing it back. They listen to the people. Next, year-round McRib. That's the next thing.
Where is Ecto Cooler? Because that's the only High C that matters.
We need Ecto Cooler. We're one step at a time, Thad. We got the orange drink. We go Ecto Cooler. They finally brought back the Spicy McNuggets, and I hope they stay on the menu forever because they are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Then we've got McRib all year round.
Treat yourself.
Thank you, Ikaika. Treat yourself. Okay, let's do some videos that make me smile. Are you ready?
I don't know.
Here you go.
Are you ready?
Look at this woman. She built an igloo in her yard in Minnesota.
Oh, my goodness. Is that actual ice?
That is actual ice. She built
painted it.
Look at it.
Did she paint, did she put food coloring in the ice to make the colors?
That's all. I don't see any of the behind the scenes of this whole thing, but I've always wanted to build an igloo, and then usually I just put a mound of snow.
How
and
cold is it in Minnesota that this actually held?
I believe there is some behind the scenes video.
Oh, there is. Go. Oh.
Yeah, I need to know.
More. Oh.
Paint buckets.
Oh, and so she did what you said. She made food coloring ice.
It's like she dyed it like Easter eggs.
This is unbelievable.
Does she live inside?
That's a really good question. And look at that night sky.
It looks beautiful.
Unbelievable.
Are we sure she lives in Minnesota and not the North Pole?
I didn't really. I just figured Minnesota.
It says #Minnesota. So
yeah, that's
I
what
assume.
Minnesota winters. This winter has been crazy all over the United States. A lot of cold. I mean, that's what happens when you tell people not to drive so much because we have to stay inside. The Earth gets a breather, and then the weather goes back to what it should be in the winter, as opposed to 60 degrees in February in Pittsburgh.
It's cold out here today.
It's freezing.
I was when I got outside. It was a little chilly for my Aloha shirt.
Monday. All right, let's go to the next one. Here, Ikaika.
Big guy. Oh, just a happy big guy.
Watch
Just
this.
a
This is
little
the best.
happy, oh, the happy dog. Oh, just a happy dog.
I mean, that dog is psyched.
Oh, he got a good backwards walk.
He does.
Or she. I'm not sure.
Look at him jump. And he does almost like a backflip. Oh, come on. That's amazing. It's the only reason to shovel snow all day. Just get your dog involved. Oh, Thadd is an owner of 2 lovely dogs.
Lovely dogs. They hate the cold.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're California dogs
dogs.
through and through.
Yeah. We had a Shih Tzu growing up, and because she loved the snow so much, she would run out, and on deep snows, you'd lose her, and then you'd have to go find her, and her fur would get these little snowballs all over it. And then you'd have to take her. Then she would get really cold. So you have to take her a warm bath, melt all the snowballs off of her. It was a very funny,
Yeah.
All right, and our final video. This one might make you cry. This one made me.
Really?
This is a good one.
It's too early for crying.
All right, so this kid's walking around the neighborhood,
Come here.
and he's shoveling
for a second.
people's driveways for money.
Walking around shoveling snow. Yeah. How long have you been out here for?
For about 2 hours.
2 hours. How much have you made?
About $15.
So what are you gonna buy with your money? What are you trying to save up to?
I'm trying to get my girlfriend and my mom some for Valentine's Day.
All right,
Keep
there's a
shoveling,
car
bro.
I'm going to actually get you out of the cold today. I want to give you $300 so you don't have to walk around and try and be.
No way, man. Man, I can help my grandma with the groceries and stuff, man. Thank you, man.
I got.
It's nice. Come on.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Be good people. Come on. If you see somebody out there today, help them.
Follow-up question.
Go.
Does that mean no one's sidewalks are going to get shoveled today? If he just walked, it was the one guy on patrol. Everyone's stuck inside. I mean, I get that not a lot of people are moving, but now grandma's going to fall on the ice.
Thad Williams.
I'm
everybody.
sorry. I'm
Thad Williams. You know
I
what?
don't mean to bring down the positivity report. I'm just asking questions.
He's the
That's
best.
all I'm asking.
That's why you bring him in there. You get for the other aspect of things.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry.
It's Aloha Monday. It's a little different than Aloha Friday. You okay over there, Ikaika Shavli? I'm sorry that I yelled at you earlier.
You didn't yell at me.
I didn't?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to give a shout out to GPACharity, who all weekend was twitching with you guys, doing some community streams. We'll be doing that a lot more. GPACharity quickly becoming like the face of our Twitch, which we really appreciate. And the guy loves
It's a beautiful face.
It's a beautiful face. I mean, he won
Thank
Best
you.
Eyes in high school. You know, he's got a great set of eyes. The official Hawaii high school.
Yeah, there's only one.
There's only one.
They fly in from all the islands.
Yeah. Hawaii Unified School District.
The away games are hard to get to.
Really tough.
Yeah,
Really tough.
6-hour flights.
It's tons.
Every week. Friday Night Lights becomes like Saturday at 2 p.m. because of the time change.
I don't know. It's making me giggle. So
I don't know
much. It's
either,
really
but
good.
I appreciate it.
I just see these sports teams in Hawaii getting on a plane. And you're like, shit, not again. We got to go to San Jose for our away game.
We've
We're
lost
there
it.
for 20
We've
minutes.
lost to them 3 times this season, and we keep having.
going back. Oh, man. You know where you don't have to keep going back? To Myers. You do have to keep going back to Myers. Basil scented hand soap I was using the other side. It's delicious. Don't eat it. Just put it on your hands and smell it. Myers Basil hand soap. Clean basil. All right. That's the positivity report for Monday. Thad, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Of course. Thanks for coming to help us out with some tech stuff today. He's the legend. Thanks for those opening credits.
Small steps.
Yep. You're going to get an Emmy nod for those. No problem.
I hope so.
Yeah, and a special thanks to Brandon Mudd as well for coming on, an amazing high school teacher there in Central Kentucky.
Great hair.
Great pink shirt. We're going to bring him on for Josh Brady. No problem.
You invited him to live with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as if he's coming out to California. You gotta, you know.
But like you didn't give it an end date.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Brandon, you got 2 weeks.
He's your new nanny.
I'm Josh Macuga. This is the Good People Association, the GPA.fun, the merch store coming very, very soon. And again, Riley's Cantina will go live today at noon. It's going to be me asking Riley really dumb Star Wars questions the whole time. Twitch.tv/GoodPeopleGPA. Streamlabs.com/GoodPeopleGPA. And you guys can support the show in any way possible. Really appreciate all of you. Until tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, when Kellen Coleman will be joining us, the one and only Kellen Coleman. We will see you tomorrow. It's way easier to love than hate. Find the good.